talking about.
Oh, I didn't have it running.
No, I did.
Oh, well, I'll cut that part out.
Don't. You leave that in.
You leave it
Note
in.
to
There.
future Jonathan, leave it in.
Well, and we're back.
I don't have to bleep leave it in, do I?
No, we don't even have to count down, do we?
I don't have to bleep contextual.
are-
We'll do a quick count. 3,
Okay, 2, 1.
Sync.
That way I can sync up the audio with the braille.
Sync up the...
Yeah. All right. Well,
Just put that word at the
well, I'm gonna put it in like.
I'm sure
huge-
they know what I'm saying.
Put it in. Oh, look at you dropping stuff. Well, all right. Good night, folks. It was fun. Brendan's gonna go. He'll be back. I'll entertain you. How about that weather, huh? I know, right?
One of these days, I'm going to actually just run away for like hours and leave you sitting here. My buddy Stefan's coming on later, and this guy got enough sunlight for today, and he gave me that.
Oh, he gave you that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't have anything I gave you out here, but.
What have you given me besides? Put that in there.
So,
Wait, what have you given me? I mean, besides a very important friendship.
All right.
But I don't think you've given me anything physical.
I haven't.
Outside of...
So, start this podcast
Please
off.
do. Because I have a crazy story and I'm going to swear a lot.
I've got a joke.
Oh, God.
I read it.
Did you hear my Titan?
Yeah.
Put that word there.
Yeah, I read it this morning, so I'm going to steal it from whoever posted it on the computers.
Okay.
Computers. What generation was the movie Forrest Gump made for?
The one where everybody died of Spanish flu.
Gen A.
Gen A.
Good night, guys.
Cut the stream.
Thanks.
I'm so mad right now.
Did
you think that was going to cover 10 minutes?
Did you think? No, I've got a story.
Oh,
too.
okay.
Did you think it was going to be funny?
I got confused. I thought it was so initially after you said Gen A, and I hate you for it, I thought it was like, one of those jokes where you like have like multiple tiers. I thought I was going into something like that, and then I got really mad because it wasn't. Because there's a joke. It's what do you call a big red thing that eats rocks?
What?
A big red rock eater. What do you call a big red thing that eats sand?
What?
A big red rock eater on a diet. And the joke is somebody's like a big red sand eater, and you're like, no.
Oh,
big.
yeah.
And that's like one of those multi-tier jokes. And I hate you.
It's just like what's red, rectangular, and bad for your teeth? A brick.
I like that.
That's better.
That's a good one.
I'm not cutting the other joke out.
I know you're not.
Okay.
I would never ask you to, but we're not friends anymore.
No.
Blow this. Whistle. Put that word right there.
Whistle.
Rhymes with grape.
Oh, gotcha.
Drop the G.
Gotcha. Drop the G. All right. So
Word. Speaking of starting next episode, I got something for you.
All right. Next week when we record it.
Next week when we're wearing the same clothes.
I brought an extra shirt.
Did you?
Yeah.
I'll just go shirtless.
Well,
I'll buzz my head real quick.
like, man, I'll mess up your hair, and I'm gonna try to age myself a week in between.
We'll just finish those sodas.
Oh well, my oat sodas.
Eczema's really gonna come out.
So we can get into your story. Mine wasn't really exciting. Yesterday I decided to get back out and do some exploring.
That was better than your Gen A joke.
So, because I've been, my brother and his wife were in town the first part of the week. And so we've been going out every night, and they're really big on walking around, which I love that. And, so I got in the habit of like walking around every day. And actually me and my brother took a bike ride over to the island and rode the racetrack, rode the abandoned neighborhood.
Very
we did
cool.
about.
So y'all went over the bridge? Oh, no, you told me this.
Yeah,
you
we
went
took
over
the
the
ferry.
ferry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Much
And-
safer.
Yeah, I'm not right. I don't like driving over that bridge.
There's this jacked dude that runs that bridge every day.
Oh, wow.
And I mean, that's weird because like normally you see long distance runners and they're kind of skinny. And I mean, he's thin-ish, but he's he's like The Rock. He's so cut. And then I look at that body and I'm like, yeah, waking up at 5 a.m. to run the bridge is not worth it.
No, never. So I went out for a leisurely walk yesterday afternoon.
Midsummer afternoon?
Yeah.
No. Thank you, Robbie.
And I found myself in the cemetery.
Which one?
Colonial.
Oh, okay, cool.
So I was like, I didn't have my equipment, but I had some of my apps. So I did a little impromptu ghost hunt. I haven't done one in a while. And
nice.
It was so much fun to get back and do it, even just for a short period of time, for an unscheduled. So I did it for a little bit, and I was like, well, I'm going to go home. I walked up to the Parkers and got some beer for the walk home. And I was like, well, I got an hour before it closes. So I went back and did another impromptu ghost investigation.
With beer.
And I found some hot spots. I actually got a little bit of conversation. What was cool is I had my earbuds because I was listening to a really good podcast on my walk. I was listening to our podcast.
Were you?
Yeah.
I can't listen to them.
I love listening to it.
I get freaked out. I'm glad you do, because you're the one that has to really go back over them. Mm-hmm. My whole thing is I check the first 10 minutes for swears, and then I just have to make sure the audio quality is okay.
I like listening to it, and the thing is, me and my little brother almost sound identical vocally.
Yeah.
So I can just pretend it's him talking if I have an issue with.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Because we do sound very much alike.
Nobody sounds like me, so.
That's
But it's so I think the thing that's really hard for me looking back at those podcasts is how bad a spot I was in, mentally and just physically. Like I have a chronic pain condition. If anybody, I haven't told that in a while, and that was the peak of it. And I think the one that you just sent me, one of them is the one where it was like typo negative. Huntress and died. It was all songs about suicide, and that was like my lowest point. And I started listening to the first episode or that episode of the podcast, and I turned it off immediately. Like I can't go back there. So, but I could probably watch some of the ones we've done more recently. And for those of you listening, we're getting caught up. It'll take a little bit, but
by the time you see this, we'll be caught up.
Right,
but.
And so. Because we got a lot better at it real quick. But those first, I think a lot of it had to do with my headspace. But
and me just getting used to doing this. But because I edit all of them, with the video, and I go to edit a new one, and it's just like it gets more and more. Like I'm not just skipping around to do the edit right. I'm actually watching the entire thing, and it's full while I'm editing it, and I'm enjoying them more and more.
That's good. I'm glad.
I really enjoy them. And
I love our conversations.
I've gotten a lot of really good feedback already.
Really?
From sharing, just the uploads that are up now.
Nice.
And I've been really excited about that.
That's awesome. So, and like I said, I like that we have the audio format. As somebody that drives a lot, that's what I primarily have to digest podcasts with. So I like that it's out there, but I really like what you've been doing with the YouTube, because I think that's going to be much more popular.
Yeah, it just gives choices.
Yeah, and especially at some point, if we get the gumption, we can boil down clips. So if you wanted to tune in and just check the songs for the week real quick, and not a whole lot of the creamy filler, you could do that.
Yeah,
I haven't sworn so far.
You haven't, and we're almost ready for your story. If you check the timer, we're almost.
Yeah, got a little bit more time.
Okay.
So you got drunk. And you're talking to ghosts.
Actually, I didn't get drunk. I usually...
I tell you, it'll take more than a couple Parker's beers to put down the old Jonathan Humphrey.
It's funny, when I was at my peak of doing ghost hunting out in that cemetery, I would spend like 4 or 5 hours there and just slowly, progressively get drunk. And so that would make me a lot more... what's the term? A lot more brave.
Yeah.
And a lot more callous towards the spirits I want to talk to.
Is there an alcohol, like more abrasive, just like, hey, come on, you stupid ghost.
Come on.
Show yourself.
You're dead.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
What are you doing? Of course, you start taking your shirt off.
Yeah,
like, want GoPro?
Come on.
Is there an alcohol that you can remember that made you way more confident as opposed to other alcohols?
Like in this field, ghost hunting?
No,
Or
just in the entire time you've been drinking, the past 45 years.
Confident or overconfident?
Overconfident. Is there one that like stands out in your mind?
Tequila makes me way overconfident.
Okay.
And not in a good way.
Yeah. I tried to fight 4 guys at the same time the last time I had tequila. Mm-hmm. It was like plastic bottle tequila, and we were making margaritas, and the blender broke. So what we ended up doing was just doing shots out of the bottle and then chasing it with margarita mix. We went to a bowling alley for some reason, and yeah, it was like plastic bottle. It was like Juarez. Do you know Nikolai vodka?
I think I've heard of it.
It's the cheapest vodka you can buy. This was like the cheapest tequila
like worse
you
than
could
Barton's?
buy. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And then I got to this bowling alley, and for some reason I tried to fight 4 guys, and then one guy was like, "Hey, you still want to fight?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then we got in a fight. And
yeah, of course.
So that was fun. But the liquor that really stands out in my mind that made me super confident is Jaeger. Me and my buddies, we would go snowboarding in Montana. There was a ski resort not far from us. Mm-hmm. And we would go up there every, couple weekends, and we would bring a half gallon of Jaeger with us and just do shots out of the bottle, and then try to do backflips off cliffs and stuff. Not that I'd ever completed a backflip, but I watched a buddy do it, and I was like, I could probably do it. Luckily, it was on the backside. So the front side's where they like manicure all the slopes, and it's usually the easier kind of stuff. The back sides, they don't touch, and it's like real, what do you call it? Really expert level stuff. There was not a lot of ski slopes in the world have this. You've heard of like black diamonds and double black diamonds. This is a triple black diamond because it's a tree run. Super dangerous. That's how Sonny Bonaparte. Bono. I don't want to say Bonaparte. That's how he died, is he ran into a tree. Not only is it trees, it's moguls. And if you don't know, moguls are mainly for skiers, and they're like little tiny hills, like almost like rippling waves, and you just kind of bounce between them. So you have to bounce these hills and avoid trees. So it's a triple black diamond. We never did that. But we would find all these cliffs and stuff. And luckily it was all really thick powder because we'd go out there after snowstorms. So when I attempted this backflip, I didn't get brain damage, as far as I know.
Well,
it's the perfect place to drink Jaeger when you think about it.
Well, yeah.
So
I used to like to drink Jaeger. The problem with me and Jaeger is, it's good, and then I'm in a coma. There is no in between. It doesn't make me like, confident or anything. I'm like, I'll do shots of Jaeger because that's the only way we would drink it. A couple shots, I'm good.
Yeah, who sips Jaeger? Who makes it? Is there? I can't think of a cocktail.
I can't either.
Jaeger.
Well, people do Jaeger bombs, which those are gross.
Yeah, you're still doing a shot. You're just chugging a beer too.
Right. But yeah, and I'm like 4 shots in, 5 shots in, I'm good. 6 shots, I'm asleep. Like that.
Dang.
Just boop, and I'm over. It's over. Good night. So I quit drinking Jaeger because I don't drink to all of a sudden pass out.
Yeah. You haven't reached that level yet. Maybe in 20 years.
Yeah. I can go to sleep on my own. I don't need to literally fall on the floor and be dead asleep like that. So I don't drink Jaeger anymore. Trish can still drink Jaeger. She's for such a dainty little girl or woman, boy, she knows she can.
She can put some liquor away.
She can dance with the creature, buddy.
Creature Comforts. This week's podcast brought to you by Creature Comforts. Yeah, I actually want to have what's his name? Runs bingo. I cannot remember.
I can't either. And if you watch this podcast, I'm so sorry in advance.
I know your name. I really
Rollerblade guy.
Yeah, Drop Dead Sexy.
Yeah, the handsome guy with the cool mustache.
I think he's handsome.
Oh, that's me.
Yeah. I see what you did there.
Oh, I was.
Why don't you tell your Gen A joke again?
Are we almost there?
Fucking asshole.
I was watching some of the earlier podcasts, and I was like, I really like that beard, so I'm going to grow the beard back.
I love the beard, dude. Yeah. You look so homeless with it. No, I'm just kidding. You look super good with a beard.
Yeah, that's Trish. I was like,
you're like a grandfather figure to me.
Thank you.
instead of just a weird uncle figure to me.
Well, you can still sit in my lap like a weird uncle.
Yeah. All right, I have a.
Ready for the story?
I have my story or your story?
I've already told mine.
Okay, I'll tell mine in just a second. But I actually
you
have
another
this,
boring story.
I have this. I have this. I have this little stand-up segue because I say a lot of really offensive stuff that sometimes doesn't land, and people will do the ooh
Yeah, I've seen
kind
your
of thing.
stand-up.
Yeah, and I just created a new segue to kind of I say, don't you guys go soft on me, not like my uncle, going soft on me right when I was getting into it. I'm just trying to think of the most horrible things to say.
Nice. Story time.
All right.
I'm just kidding. We're out of time, folks. Thanks a lot. We'll see you next week.
This episode brought to you by Jägermeister.
We will.
and Bingo.
Next week's guest will be Eddie Van Halen and Dimebag Darrell.
And that first guy to get gonorrhea.
Yeah.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson. I don't know.
Yeah. And maybe, if we can, Stevie Ray Vaughan. We'll have those three guys on the show next week. Thanks a lot.
More like Stevie Gay Vaughan. Am I right? Fuck that guy. No, I'm just kidding. I have nothing against this.
They're all three of those are dead. That's why we're gonna have them.
Stevie Ray Vaughan's dead? Which?
Yeah, 31 years ago.
Was it Jimmy Vaughn?
Jimmy Vaughn's his brother. He's still alive.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Jimmy Vaughn was Fabulous Thunderbirds.
Yes.
Stevie Ray was Double Trouble. Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
George Thorogood and the Destroyers. Oh, wait, no, that was George Thorogood.
George Thorogood and the Destroyers. He's still alive. I saw him last year.
Yeah. I don't, God knows how.
He was going through my trash.
Yeah, looking for one bourbon, one shot, and one beer.
It's like, George, I've told you before, get out of my garbage.
You just got to turn the light on and he runs away like a raccoon.
He's like, herd. I don't know what you're talking about. Just go.
Yeah, who do you love? Like banana peel hanging out of his mouth.
Do you have $1? I need 65 cents.
He was that guy trying to charge his phone on your porch. Hey, brother, can you spare some electricity?
Yeah, it's $1 a minute.
He plugs in his phone and then that little Silvertone amp to just trying to make some money.
Come on, help me out.
Let me bust go on your porch, friend. So, did I say my dog's? I had to put my dog down a couple weeks ago. Did I say it on this show?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Just making sure.
Is this like a recap show now?
Yeah. So my dog's dead. No. So I've been feeling really weird about dog stuff. Like if I see anything approximating putting dogs down or anything like that, I get really sad and really emotional. And, I got really sad the day I picked up her ashes. And then I was listening to a podcast I really like called Blocked and Reported. And they were talking about how people have been putting dogs down during the pandemic because of behavioral issues that surface because of the lockdowns. And sometimes, so people will adopt pets during the pandemic. Like it's a pretty standard thing. You need companionship. And sometimes these dogs will develop behavioral issues and they'll start logging a bite record. And then now it's a quality of life issue because there's no shelter that'll take them. There's no sanctuaries that'll take them because they have 7, 8, 9 bites on their record. And people end up having to put their dogs down, and that got me really sad. And so I've been really weird about dog stuff the past couple weeks. So I'm at the dog park yesterday with Gypsy, Daffin Park, dog park, and recently started going back because Voodoo had a big problem there, and I felt like she couldn't defend herself if she had to because of her back legs. Like she couldn't walk right. And then started taking Gypsy there now because Voodoo's gone and Gypsy can kind of take care of herself. I'm on the phone with a friend and on one side of the dog park, and I hear from across the dog park, I hear yelping. And then I start hearing people screaming. And I was like, okay, that's not good. Because the yelping, sometimes dogs just bark at each other, not a big deal. But the people screaming, I look up, I hang up the phone with my friend, and I start sprinting over there. And as I'm sprinting over, I notice there's 3 or 4 people around this big dog, and he has this tiny little dog by the neck. And he's shaking it, and these people are just trying to get around it, just trying to figure out what to do. And I just jump in, and I just put this dog in a rear naked choke, and I just start choking the shit out of this dog. Because this dog is 70 or 80 pounds, big dog. And the dog in its mouth is could not have been more than like 15 pounds. And so my idea was my first thought was like, I have to make this thing pass out.
Yeah.
So he's not letting go despite the owners being right. Like he does not care. So I just started choking this dog. Thankfully, after like 3 or 4 seconds, he lets go. The owner's able to get his dog out. He's freaking the fuck out. He gets his little dog in the car. I'm like, hey, dude, there's a vet just down the road. He's like, okay, I got to get my other dog. I was like, which one's yours? I get his other dog. They take off. And then I'm shaking. Like, I'm freaking out because I didn't want to do that to that dog, you know, but there's a serious risk of this other dog dying. So I hope both dogs are okay. Fuck that lady for not having control of her animal. The super sweet old lady who's always there comes over and tries to get that girl's information. I think she gave bunk information, which is fucked up because you owe that person vet bills.
Yeah, you do.
And the nice old lady said she was gonna post the information to the board and try to get it to that guy. My sister was nice enough to reach out on a couple of Facebook pages because I'm not on Facebook, and I just wanted to reach out and see if the guy's okay, and then figure out who that girl was.
Yeah, 'cause she's responsible.
My sister really knows dogs. She's a big dog freak, and she kind of gave me some reassurance. She was like, luckily, you know, big dogs, when they grab little dogs by the neck, there's not usually a risk of like puncture injury. What they usually do is they like shake it to death. They break their necks essentially like a chew toy. So she was like, if it was still alive and kind of moving afterwards, then it's probably fine. So that gave me some reassurance. But yeah, and you know, of course, my family is like, they're like, oh, you could have got bit, like blah 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 blah. And I was fine. I was in a really good. I think they were thinking that I was like choking this dog like this. I'm like, I'm not sticking my hands anywhere near that mouth.
No.
So I got, essentially for viewers, I got behind it like this, and this is, you know, in jiu-jitsu it's called a rear naked choke, and then I'm just applying pressure. And my idea was if the dog was able to kind of squirm, I was just gonna lock its body in and just bring it to the ground until it passed out. Yeah. Because that's the thing, is it was not letting go despite the owner smacking the shit out of it. You know what I mean? So obviously this dog, I'm not sticking my hands anywhere near its mouth. That's number one no. Like I said, I hope that dog's okay too. Yeah. Which he walked. She hightailed it out of there.
Oh, I bet she did.
Which is the reason why I think she gave bunk information. I remember what she looks like. I remember what a dog looks like. If I see you and you've given fake information, I'm gonna find you, or I'm gonna call you out, and I'm gonna find that guy, and I'm gonna give him your actual information, because that's fucked up.
It is, yeah.
And poor guy, you know, a lot of people. My sister was getting back to me. We were saying like, you should have brought this tiny dog to the tiny dog park, which is right next door. And I think what happened was, so the guy had 2 dogs. He had a little one, and he had like a more medium-sized dog. So I think rather than taking the medium-sized dog into the small dog park to avoid something like what happened to him, right, he took the small dog to the medium dog park, and he was just gonna, because I mean the thing was still on a leash and everything. They were right at the gate where you walk in, and if your dog is running up to that gate and attacking dogs that are trying to come in, that is not an animal that should be at a dog park. No. You need to get that dog and go take him somewhere else because apparently that dog does not like other dogs. Yeah, so and especially if it's tiny dogs. Yeah. Because that's the other thing I was telling my family. I was saying, if it was 2 big dogs fighting, I'm not stepping in. Fuck that. I'm not going to I don't care. I mean, unless it was mine, but Gypsy wouldn't fight anybody. And that was the funny thing. I'm like, so right after it happens, the guy leaves, the girl leaves. I'm like kneeling down, shaking, because it would just happen so fast, and I was trying to get my wits back, and then I was like, "Oh shit, where's my dog?" I was I call a Gypsy. She's still at the other end of the dog park, and she just pokes her head around a tree like, "What?" She had no idea what was going on. She just like, she looked at me running over there, and she's like, "Fuck that!" Like, nope, I'm gonna hang out over here. Hang out over here. I luckily I think everybody's okay. I hope that little dog's fine. I hope the guy's fine, and I know how terrifying that must be. Oh, I bet. Because I've had dogs go after Voodoo and Gypsy, and it's as simple as me picking them up, and it's never been bad. They're never like aggressively trying to hurt them. They're usually just trying to play a little too rough, right? And that's a little different. So, but even that kind of shakes you up, because then you're like, okay, now I have to like be aggro with this owner because their dog doesn't know how to behave.
Yeah.
And a lot of times that's a big issue at that dog park is these people just let their dogs run around and they're at the picnic tables texting or reading a book. And it's like, hey, you have to still watch your animal. This isn't like...
Yeah, you have to pick up after it. You have to watch it.
Exactly. And there's so much shit all over that dog park. So much. Thank you to the nice city workers who go and clean that dog park because I know that job can't be easy.
Yeah.
So that was my story.
Wow.
Thank you for sticking with us. I just had to get that out. I'll probably say I'm having somebody else come in on a podcast later today that I was on the phone with him.
Oh, wow.
At the dog. So I'll probably tell the story and then it'll probably be out today, obviously later for our podcast as we're trying to get caught up. But then that's the last you'll hear of it. But
okay.
I'm trying to get it out there because I want to see if that little dog's okay. It was a guy. He looked like he was in his mid-30s. Small little tiny white dog, medium-sized black dog. Drove a gray compact hatchback. The lady, she walked there, so I can't give. She was blonde and she had a really big orange dog, 60, 70 pounds. Had a black harness on. So if anybody has any information, please reach out. Yeah. You can find me. Reach out to the podcast. Like, comment, subscribe if you know where that nasty bitch lives.
Actually, I'm gonna give you Brennan's. I'm gonna flash Brennan's phone number and home address on the screen. So
sexual kinks.
Whenever you want to come by and visit him,
preferred time of day to walk into the house alone.
I'll draw a map of his house and show you where his bedroom is, where the bathroom is, where the window is, when he's home alone.
Like that movie.
Home Alone?
No.
What movie?
Air Force One.
Oh, yeah, of course. That's basically the plot right there. You know what generation Air Force One was made for? I don't have a punchline. I was just Gen A.
I like the second joke better, actually.
Yeah. Let's hear it for Gary Oldman, by the way. Speaking of Air Force One.
Was he in that? I thought it was Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford was the president. Gary Oldman was the bad guy.
I thought Harrison Ford played both parts. Like Eddie Murphy. He's so talented. He can play the good guy and the bad guy. He's like, get off my plane. 9! Harrison Ford's so talented. Remember when German bad guys eventually transformed into Arab bad guys?
Yeah.
Like, because I went back and I watched Die Hard. And Hans Gruber, he's German, and he's a German terrorist. And then, what was that, the late 80s?
It was 88, I think.
88. And then over the course of the 90s, they slowly became Muslim.
I quit watching
And then after
them.
9/11, it was like, that was every bad guy for like 10 years.
Yes, yeah.
An Arab terrorist. Yeah. Or a Mexican cartel guy.
It's always the Mexican cartels.
Yeah. Like, comment, subscribe if you've had a loved one succumb to violence by the Mexican cartels.
Yeah, comment in the comment section below. Like, subscribe, ring that little bell icon to get notifications.
Oh, yeah, the bell. The bell's important.
It's very important. Take that bell out to dinner. Give it a big smooch.
If the bell consents. Got to put that in there.
Hopefully by now we'll have goodies on our Patreon account. We can work that in later. But subscribe to our Patreon.
What goodies are we gonna do?
Well, we'll talk about it later. Well, I don't want to do it now.
Lemon squeeze and deep cut condoms.
We're gonna have stickers, T-shirts,
they
discounts.
are made in Taiwan, so use it at your own risk.
we're gonna give you discounts on our merch.
Oh,
stickers,
T-shirts.
Podcasts, you get them early. I took some glamour shots of Brennan.
Yeah, got a lot of tasteful butthole nudes. BHM, baby.
All right.
Should we flip the coin?
We will flip the coin.
Make Germans bad guys again. Hey, look at that. Never happens unless it hits the wires.
Never happens.
Thank you, Robbie.
So we're doing the
my horrible pitches, but yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Next week we'll be talking about music we actually like.
Yeah, next week. So we'll start with I had a theme, and I can go ahead and throw the theme out. You already guessed it.
No, you told me what it was. I didn't guess anything.
Little air of surprise for the gang out there.
Sex ballads written to minors by rock stars.
That was
She's only 17. 16. They just keep going lower and lower for every chorus. She's only 11.
9 months old. She is just a fetus.
Did you know that? Did I ever sing you my parody for that "Baby You're All That I Want" song? Baby, you're all that I want. When you're lying here in my arms, I find it hard to believe you're 11. That's bingo all over again.
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
this
what's the
podcast
theme?
is sponsored by Jeffrey Epstein. Didn't kill himself.
I hope we get famous enough to be able to buy that island.
Yeah.
Call it Fuckboy Island. We just do just the raddest shit on there. Everything but sexual assault.
Yeah. I was going to fill it
Oh,
with...
wait. That sentence out of context can sound pretty bad. Everything but sexual assault. BUTT.
I know. I'm going to fill it with kittens.
Aw.
Kitty Cat Island.
kitty cats.
I love kittens. But anyway, back to what we're getting paid to do by no one. So my theme
Thanks,
was...
Jeff. Jeff from Uganda.
Yeah. He.
Oh, we did get hit up by this Jamaican prince, and he said if we help him with a small donation to reclaim his thrones, we can triple our money.
I know. I've already sent him the account number and routing number for the
Nice.
LSDC
Bank account
yeah. But
where they charge us money to have money in there because we don't have enough money. Sorry. Your theme for this week.
my theme for this week was rockin' 80s soundtrack songs. And that is one thing that I miss so much about the 80s was no matter what kind of movie you had, they were going to make you a rockin' soundtrack.
So bands would be hired to make songs based on the movie, is what you're saying?
Most times, yes.
Okay.
Or just like a song pertaining to the movie or just
Something that worked well.
a non-album track. Sometimes bands would just throw a B-side at a soundtrack
Okay.
because they weren't going to do anything with it. And one of the things in this first song falls in that category. In the mid-'80s, horror movies, especially the Friday the 13th and the Nightmare on Elm Street series, they were really, really popular. Obviously, they were getting cheesier and cheesier. But this is back when a time when you would make an R-rated horror movie geared towards teenagers.
Okay.
So it was R-rated. I mean, it had the violence and the nudity and all that stuff. But teenagers love that. I mean, you were a teenager, last week? And you like that kind of stuff.
I do. I like violence and nudity. That's for damn sure.
Who doesn't?
I get some Jaeger in me, and I just want to fucking fight.
So this first one, it was from A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, The Dream Warriors.
Okay.
Came out in 1987.
Okay, yeah.
And this is from a band called Dokken, which I'm not even a fan of Dokken,
Dokken.
but they have like 3 songs I like.
Dream Warriors.
Dream Warriors, Unchained the Night.
Oh, I know that song,
Yeah.
actually.
And yeah, actually they have 2 songs I like. Then that's it. I just never could get
You
into
thought about
Dokken.
that third song, and you're like, nah.
Yeah. And I like George Lynch, the guitar player. I like his solo work, but I'm just never got into Dokken. Nothing against
I like it
against him.
because it sounds like docking.
Yeah, but that's the lead singer's last name, Don Dokken.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, what an asshole.
well, he is.
I hate it when people do that.
Well,
I hate that shit so much.
yeah, like
Ban Perry. Oh, I
Led
got a
Zeppelin.
shout out to Chris Harper at Crimus, CRIMMAS on Instagram, and Crimus Animates for he designed our logo. And weirdly enough, because I just happened to post the picture of episode 4, and the first band on that week was the band Perry. When he was 2, I'm going to butcher the story, his life was saved by a doctor. His parents rushed him into the hospital because they thought he was having an allergic reaction. Turns out he was slowly choking on a fish stick, and a Dr. Perry saved his life.
Huh.
And a couple years later, the family moved, and the children went on to form a band called the band Perry.
Oh wow,
No shit, yeah.
based on that doctor.
Yeah.
Oh,
No. That's their dad.
Oh,
It's a wild leap. It's like, oh, those kids named their band after a guy that saved some obscure animator's life. No offense, Chris.
no, that's awesome. And thank you, Chris, for the awesome
Yeah,
artwork.
we love you.
You took something that we had created in our brains and made it look. I think
Chris,
it looks amazing.
Chris, if there was a movie based off your life, it would be called Brooklyn's Finest.
Yeah.
He lives in Brooklyn,
Oh, awesome.
and I love him.
Oh, awesome. Well, thank you, Chris. Thumbs up. I'm sorry it took 16
So just a
episodes
weird kind of thing.
That is cool, though.
Super weird.
Yeah.
We're gonna be getting a call in at some point, and somebody's gonna be like, "Yeah, like it's like somebody that designs our merch is gonna be like, yeah, Glenn Danzig raped me over. I don't know.
That's my story. But anyway, we'll get to that later. I don't design merch.
Yeah. So
But anyway,
Dream Warriors, Nightmare on Elm Street 3,
yeah.
the best of all of them, I'm sure. I actually know the movie
I
that
think
the second one comes from, but we'll get to that.
Yeah. Oh, well, okay.
I know the movie.
Good.
Yeah.
Let's.
I know. I'm sorry.
Back
I'm
up,
all
back up.
scatterbrained today.
I know. Do I need to slap you again?
Yes.
Well, pull down your pants.
Slap me in the pecker.
So, yeah, this is and you know, obviously, I know when you listen to the song, you're like, this. Of course, this was recorded in the '80s.
Yes.
I mean, it's got all the flavors of.
Yeah.
This sounds like what would probably be in an '80s movie, horror movie, action movie. I mean, it had all the things.
Was it like so? Was it in the movie or was it like in credits?
I think this was in credits.
Okay.
I think so, but it was the theme song for the movie.
Oh,
'Cause
so
the
they
movie
probably
was-
opened with it.
I haven't seen that movie in 100 years. It feels like.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't remember exactly where it was in the movie, but the other two I know exactly where they are in those movies, and we'll get to those.
Okay.
But yeah, and I just want to, and like this was the beginning of 3 songs that were just, they're fun. You know, whether you liked them or not, that was no big deal. I like them for what they are.
Yeah.
And it's just fun, and it's very nostalgic every time I listen to those 3 songs. And a bunch, there were a lot of songs I could have used,
Yeah.
and I had to narrow it down, and that was really hard.
Just bring the other ones back next week.
I will.
Okay.
Well, next week, in 2 hours.
3 weeks from now.
Yeah, but anyway, but anyway, so I'll pitch it over to you.
Yeah. I mean, it's, here's the thing is I have to remember with a lot, you're the deep cut guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to remember that you grew up with a lot of this stuff when these sounds were fresh, and sound and popular music has just evolved so much. And I have to remember that the stuff that I grew up listening to is removed 30 years from where sound was at
Yeah,
the time you were listening, like when you were my age. So, it's good. I think the only thing that I don't like about it is I know what happens after. Which is this sound influenced a lot of really shitty music.
yes.
So all I can hear when I'm listening to this is worse songs that come after this, and it leads to that fucking band that shot that music video on the beach. You know what I'm talking about? The really shitty, the guy that's trying to be Ozzy Osbourne, and I sent you the video.
Yeah.
It eventually goes. There's a direct line from Dokken to those fucking assholes.
The one that Brian Posehn was.
Yes. They're on the beach, and like during the guitar player's solo, the singer comes over and awkwardly puts his hand on his shoulder, and that's what this sound goes into. So
you're absolutely correct.
I think unfortunately, the 80s were a weird time in between where it's like technology's moving quickly, but a lot of the recording methods were going to stay for a little bit. So it's this weird catch-up game that's happening. Whereas now, because everything's digital, there's still a lot of technological advancements in music, but overall the sound in the digital realm is pretty consistent.
Yeah.
And people do different things. There's different what would you the word for it be? Like innovations within like how we're going to use these sounds, but there's a consistency over the past, I would say, like 10 years. And the recording quality is all really good because like the gap between industry standard professional recordings and then like home studios keeps getting narrower and narrower as things become more affordable and more companies come out with more affordable things that are professional quality. I think there's more of a stable consistency now, whereas back then the bands like this could afford to make sounds like this, whereas simpler bands, maybe punk bands and stuff like that, had a pretty low recording budget, so things didn't sound as good.
Right.
But those sounds quickly went away into the 90s because there's more innovation. You get into more digital recording and stuff like that. So
yeah,
that's what I would say is like this sound is very dated. It's sort of like gated reverb on like Phil Collins loved that sound.
Yeah.
And then it goes away so quick. And it's just that place and time. And so that would be my only critique, is that this song has not aged well.
No, it's very, very dated.
Yeah.
Very dated. And
sorry to go on a long misinformed tirade, but that's kind of my pretext to all of this.
Okay. Yeah.
So, the 80s, it's just, when you listen to an 80s song, it's very obviously 80s. And it doesn't matter if it's Dokken. It doesn't matter if it's Whitney Houston. It doesn't, like, it all is so similar.
Yeah, it all
doesn't
has
matter
that
if it's Pat
same
Benatar, like, it's all very place and time, B-52s.
It's just like when you listen to most stuff from the 90s, it's...
Same thing. There's new innovations that will quickly be eroded. Like, the equipment will be used for a little bit, and then it just eventually gets eroded by a more efficient system.
And people beat it to death.
Yes.
I mean, there's certain...
And in the 90s, you really get into the loudness wars. So things were getting compressed out the wazoo. You lose a lot of dynamics. And I think that was a real issue with music for a little bit.
And just certain tones and instruments. There were certain guitar tones that were used in the 80s, certain vocal styles that were used in the 80s. Dokken, one of them, where, it just... The higher, range, not a falsetto, but pretty close.
Yeah. Oh, that's like you said, the style of singing, and especially with like a lot of metal bands. What was the big thing at the time to record with is tube amps, because you need that power for a guitar to cut through the mix. So, and on that amp that I have right there are tube models, and I think I have like 6 or 7, and the first 2 are the most popular tubes for metal bands, and one is I'm not going to remember it, but that was the most popular tube in American metal music. And the next one down is like 6LS or something like that, the most popular tube amp in British music. The difference is a lot of it's the difference in mid-range and treble sort of things. But yeah, I mean that's every guitar tone you heard for a long time was it was almost like there was industry standard amp tubes. So
pretty much, yeah.
So a lot of like a lot of the stuff that you've pitched already, like Exodus, Testament, in the like early 90s era, when you said thrash really comes back, like that's the same guitar tone across the board with little differences.
But you're
same
absolutely
general
right.
tube saturation kind of sound.
Tube saturation.
What?
I don't know why that was funny.
Because you're thinking of penises. Can't get dick off the parade.
So, thumbs up, thumbs down.
It's all right.
Yeah.
It's definitely of its time. I think this song was the least exciting for me personally, because it just kind of like drags. It's like, it's kind of like, I can tell it wants to be a fun, upbeat song. Not upbeat, but a little bit quicker than it is, but it's kind of slow.
Yeah, in fact, this is the one I almost left off and traded with something else, because
well, you should have.
It's my least favorite. That's why I put it at the beginning.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Because I want to go ahead and get it out of the way.
Yeah,
but I think I only included it because it was involved with an iconic movie series. Yeah.
And I get it, but it's very of its time, and I don't like the lyrics. When the dream warriors.
That's basically Dokken, and I think that's why I don't really like Dokken.
Yeah, it's bordering on just like bubble gum bullshit.
Yeah.
You're not. Here's what it is. It's somebody who thinks they're being super duper deep, and they're not.
No, it's a song about a horror movie,
like The Long Road.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a hell of a ride.
All right, so we'll give it a thumb sideways, or we can do a thumbs down.
I'm gonna do thumbs at 2:00.
Okay.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Give it a listen. I mean, for sure, give it a listen. It's interesting.
And watch that movie.
Especially
Earlier,
if you haven't listened to a lot of 80s music. This will be a good introduction into it because this is what everything sounds like.
Yeah. The first 4 Nightmare on Elm Street movies, I think, are where you can pretty much stop.
I think you could stop at 1.
Well, yeah. Well, technically, you could stop at 1, and
It's
really
like Friday the 13th. You can stop at 1.
Yeah, you can stop at the first one. But if
you want to watch Jason X when he goes to space? No,
I don't. No,
not even a little bit.
I don't even want to think that movie exists.
There was one Nightmare on Elm Street where I think it was Freddy versus Jason.
Yeah, that wasn't good either.
And there's it's right when CGI was kind of coming into its own, and there's this dude smokes a bunch of weed in a hospital or something, and he hallucinates that there's this creature, and it's Mortal Kombat 2 had better creatures developed in it. Did you ever watch Mortal Kombat 2?
I've never watched any of the Mortal Kombat movies.
We'll get high and watch it sometime.
Okay.
Or you'll just get drunk on
I'll
Jaeger.
get drunk. Yeah.
Wake up! This is the best part.
Take these off. Sunglasses sponsored by Tito's Vodka.
I tell you what, they had one of the smartest marketing campaigns I've ever seen. Because it was right when gluten-free was becoming a really popular thing. Mm-hmm. They were like, gluten-free vodka, put it right on the bottle. It's like...
Yeah,
and then all these motherfuckers don't order vodka sodas. They order Tito's and soda because they want you to tell them if you don't have Tito's. And it's like, hey, asshole, 90% of vodkas are gluten-free.
Yeah.
God.
Well, now you've ruined Tito's. Now they're secret.
I like Tito's. They do a lot of, going back to it, but they do a lot of good work for dogs, especially pit bulls. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I'm a big fan of their marketing strategy. Mm-hmm. I just don't like their fucking fans. Can I get a Tito's and soda?
And what's so bad is it's actually really good vodka. That's our vodka of choice at home.
The same girl that comes up to the bar and is like, can I get a Tito's and soda, is also the same girl that walks into a clinic and says, can I get a late-term abortion?
How late term? Well, he's 4.
Well, I'm in labor, so yeah. I like yours better.
Say hey to Jimmy. Jimmy, deuces.
I'm just tired of you.
Yeah. All right, so let's move on to. You want to set
You know what day it is? It's the day after Friday. Let's go. I didn't even listen to this song yesterday because I couldn't. I'm going to save it for the third song to divulge how I came about these songs.
Okay, that's
this
fine.
first one is widely considered to be one of the worst songs ever created, and it's weird because that's kind of what I'm going for, is the worst songs ever. But interestingly enough, when I typed that into Google just to kind of get a feel, there's this one song that was claimed to be the worst song ever, and it was like something Park by
MacArthur Park.
MacArthur Park, yeah. And I was like, but I listened to it, I was like, oh, way worse music has come out since. I think that was in 1992, which I was born.
MacArthur Park actually came out in the 60s.
Oh, then in 1992 they rated it as.
I actually have MacArthur Park on 45.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was listening to it and I was like, why is this?
Yeah,
he's playing interesting piano. He's singing in key. He's on time. Way worse music has come out. Since then.
I've never understood why MacArthur Park got such a bad rap. And
I guess people didn't like the lyrics, but
maybe
they're okay. I mean,
and you're right.
It's definitely better than Dream Warrior.
Yeah, a lot worse stuff has come out. Probably within a year of that song coming out,
and we'll get into that.
Yeah, so Rebecca Black's Friday.
Rebecca Black's Friday.
It's Friday.
And
it's Friday.
Here's what I will say. Because of this song, I cannot hold anything against Olivia Rodrigo. I don't because of her juvenile, I would say. the songs that she writes when they're about all this deep love and kind of stuff kind of come across as a little juvenile because it's like you're 17, what the fuck do you know? That's
Right.
well, that's the reaction I feel like people our age would give to that. This song is legitimately juvenile, and I wonder what color crayon she used to write the lyrics. Because this is a song that is, oh, you don't know anything. You're a sophomore in high school and you have nothing to talk about.
It showed in the lyrics.
Which, to be fair, I was actually songwriting at the same age. But yeah, no, I was just as bad.
See,
Here's the good thing is I didn't have the ability to put it out on the fucking radio.
Right. And I feel like I was writing songs when I was 16, 17. And yeah, looking at them now, but it was nothing juvenile like that. I'll have to bring in a couple of things I wrote when I was
we'll read them on the Patreon.
Yeah.
I'll bring some shit that I wrote when I was 16.
And
about how I was masturbating to all my classmates. Anyway, what were you saying? No, here's the thing is like, I was writing poppy, stupid bullshit when I was 16 because I didn't fucking know anything either. But then I had a lot of really hard times between 17 and 20, halfway through my 20th year. And then when I started songwriting again, it's like, oh, I have all this really crazy stuff to talk about because I went out and lived a crazy life. I mean, like a burly, my bowl needs cereal or whatever she says. I'm going to turn it over to you.
I remember when the song came out. It was, what was like
2013, 14?
Was it that late? I thought it was earlier than that, like 2010.
I should have probably done my homework, but I won't.
And I remember when this came out, and it was like a YouTube sensation, the video was, and it was all over the place. And yeah, it's not a good song at all. It sounds like Daddy wrote a check to a recording studio. Just so he can get his daughter to shut up.
Let me read the lyrics real quick. Yeah. Arc. Ooh, hoo. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 Ooh, yeah, When did you come out, though?
Yeah, I'll look it up.
I got it.
The last time I heard a song this terrible, Aaron Lewis was singing it. Oh, brought it back around.
2011.
Oh, 2000. Okay.
Sorry about that.
2011. Yeah, this song is absolutely terrible. And the one thing that I do remember, and I want to say this in regards to Miss Black, unless she's gotten married now, but Miss Rebecca. For some reason,
sounds like a substitute teacher.
Miss Rebecca. Miss Rebecca, can I go
Black?
to
Oh, call me Miss Rebecca.
I don't know where I was going. I drifted for a second.
The thing I'll say about Miss Black.
The thing I'll say about Miss Black, Miss Rebecca, when this came out, yeah, the song's not good.
No.
Okay, we can agree on that. Fine. Who cares? It's not a good song. She has no talent in writing, singing. You know, I don't even know if she can play the triangle. Okay, she's already made more money in 2011 than I've made in my entire life. So who cares? What got me was there was such a backlash, and I don't know if you remember this, when the song became so popular, that there were people who were cyberbullying her, giving her death threats because they didn't like the song. I'm like,
I don't want to take it that far. I didn't know she was getting death threats.
Yeah. I mean, it was like,
it's a bad song, but Jesus.
I mean, good Lord, if I was going to send death threats to every song I didn't like, well, that'd be a lot of death threats.
Well, and but it
was very juvenile because the people who didn't like it were also tweens and teens who don't know how to just not listen to a piece of music.
Yeah, and just not like it.
Yeah, I'll never have to listen to that song again for the rest of my life.
Yeah, I mean that's crazy to just.
But yeah, that was.
Well, you had to listen to it this week.
Yeah, I had to listen to it. Yeah, I had to listen. Yeah, but
you were contractually obligated to listen to this song this week. I mean, and I'm not saying that it's good or I agree with it, but I remember when Sinead O'Connor tore up the picture of the Pope to protest the rampant sexual misconduct in the Catholic Church.
Yeah,
and she was getting death threats for that, and I'm not saying that I agree with it or something like that, but when art presents itself in that way, I get why people do it. I think it's horrible and you should all go die, but for just not liking a song about riding in your friend's car Oh God, I just remembered that one part in the song. Fun.
Yeah.
I just like that's the clown doll you have that haunts you at night and stands over your bed and is like fun. That's the voice she uses for it.
It is. It's creepy.
Even autotune couldn't fix that.
But it's just and the people that were
fun.
that were attacking her. These are the kind of people that they're behind their little computer in mom's basement.
Yeah, they're allergic to pussy juice and fun,
and they're probably 350 pounds in the 8th grade, and they have nothing.
But healthy. Obesity can be healthy.
Well, yeah, I mean, and they're also a level 15 orc in World of Warcraft. I don't even know if that's a real thing.
I don't think you know what you're talking about.
I don't
like, comment, subscribe if you don't think that Jonathan knows what he's talking about.
I don't play video games.
If you hate his stupid mustache, hit that bell.
I don't know why I did that. No, I do.
Okay.
Because it wasn't a rock. It got some dust over here. But yeah, but it's like, okay.
Snort it later.
The song is stupid. Who cares?
Yeah. Should we send her a death threat real quick?
No, I'm not going to send Rebecca Black a death threat.
I hope your car crashes and your bus blows up.
No, I've got a worse threat. I hope for the rest of your life you're only known for making this song.
She will be. That's 100% her legacy.
To me, that's a fate worse than death.
Have you seen the rap video, Krispy Kreme?
No, I haven't.
Okay, let me show you just real quick because this pertains to what we're talking about. It pertains to what we're talking about. You're also at the next week. You're getting a rap video up top. I'm really excited for that.
Great. You mean week after next?
No, next week.
Krispy Kreme 2012
came out the year after.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Y'all already know. 'Cause I am the baddest of them all. If you ain't about money, then I don't mess with y'all. Y'all think I don't get girls 'cause I ain't very tall. If she see my stats,
Okay, that's
I'll
enough.
bet you that-
Okay, for the people listening at home, there's
a part in the chorus where he's singing into a mic and he has a snot bubble
Oh,
and they leave it in.
this kid he's like,
Well, here's the thing though. A couple years later, so this must have been like 2016 or something, I'm on Facebook and a Facebook Live pops up of a guy playing a piano, and I'll usually click on music stuff, especially when it's not sponsored. I won't click on sponsored videos. And he's playing the piano, and he's playing really well, and he's actually singing good, this guy. And I see on the sidebar comments live, like, Krispy Kreme. And I was like, that's the fucking rapper guy. And he was actually playing something good. So maybe Rebecca Black comes out with a banger.
well, maybe so. Yeah, this kid, for those of you at home, he's got to be the whitest, most suburban
Put the video up right here.
kid I've ever seen. He's got like
I'll send you a picture.
My first mustache. We called them crustaches.
My first mustache. That sounds like a kit by Hasbro.
when you got a certain age and you started growing that first little bit of fuzz on your top lip.
No, I couldn't do it.
Oh,
I looked like a pedophile and a kid that would get fucked by a pedophile at the same time, and it just wasn't healthy.
But anyway, he's got that first crustache that you're supposed to shave off as soon as it grows in, so you can grow a real mustache. But yeah, and they were pointing guns. I don't know whose guns those were.
One of them's a BB gun.
Yeah, please send me that awesome video. I'll watch all of it when we're
I'll
not.
send you a picture so you can put it up right
We're
now.
not filming an actual podcast.
Hit that notification bell if you believe that if music like this is the reason why you support abortions.
Super late term abortions.
Yeah.
But,
Hold still. Mom, I'm 16. Hold still.
hold still. So I will give. We'll wrap it up for Miss Rebecca. I hate the song. The song is a thumbs down. But I will give her a thumbs up because I know she's still making music. And
Is she?
yeah.
Oh, God.
And to all those people who gave her death threats, because
Yeah, fuck you.
you get a big thumbs down. And I hope you're probably still living in your mom's basement. You're still painting those little D&D figures, and
And here's something for your ass. I would never have sex with you, but I'd probably have sex with Rebecca Black.
well, that's a given.
Yeah. She's my age. She should be my age. She was 16 in 2011.
Yeah, so that was
it's
10
fine.
years ago.
Yeah. She's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. Olivia Rodrigo, not fine. Not fine. Yeah, and that's the thing that creeps me out is like I know that there's guys that are like just watching her videos over and over. They're just like 35-year-old men like obsessed with it. That always happens. Britney Spears, because Britney Spears was pretty famous when she was like 15 and 16.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And it's always so weird when they like prop these girls up as like sex icons, and it's like, hey, that's only okay in Alabama.
Yeah.
Only release the music video in Alabama.
All right, let's move on.
Flip it. Like Daddy likes it.
Second one I gave you. This.
Oh yeah, back to you.
This has a.
It's hard for me to think outside of myself.
I know. This one has a very not personal, but this is an exciting one that I want to throw at you. We are talking about instruments of destruction,
Which sounds like a Megadeth song.
even though it was. That was like, how are you texting me here in the room? But I know what you're doing. It was a band called N.R.G. I don't know if they've ever done anything else.
So what does it stand for?
I have no idea. It's N.R.G. N.R.G. It was 86. It's 1986.
That fucking Gen A joke.
Okay. This is off the soundtrack. Well, I'll let you sit down first, Jim Shorts. Jim
These
Pants.
are long pants, yeah. Idiot.
This was the original animated Transformers movie.
Oh, I was gonna.
What? Oh, you can say something. I was setting up the show, the movie.
No, I know, but I knew the movie for this
Oh,
one.
that's right. You were going to tell me. Well, of course you knew the movie. It was on the cover of the.
Yeah, but I remember this movie.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I remember the song.
Oh, okay.
And
Awesome.
that jogged my memory, but
Yeah, yeah.
I remember, I actually know this song.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I watched the Transformers movie when I was little. And
So-
when I was listening to, I didn't look at the album when I
Mm-hmm.
when I sent it to the playlist, and I was listening to it, I was like, I know this. And I was like, oh, yeah.
I saw that in the theater in 1986.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn. I didn't realize Transformers went back that far.
The first line rolled out in like 83.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because I guess it's one of those things they just kept doing iterations of because it was still big when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And then they did like a 3D animated series where there were animals. Mm-hmm. And then they, obviously the Transformers movies with Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, Michael Bay ruined.
Megan Fuchs.
Yeah.
That first one's actually good.
That was terrible.
No, the first one's okay, and then it gets real bad real quick.
Only because it was hard to really keep up with what was going on.
Yeah. But they had some serious talent in that movie.
Yeah.
Stanley Tucci. Wait, no, he wasn't in that one.
Yeah, he was in that one.
Not the first one.
No, it was, what's his name? Played Jesus in The Big Lebowski.
I don't remember.
He's been
that
in like
part.
500 other movies, and that's the only one I can think of.
He was in Oh Brother Where Art Thou?
Yeah.
Yeah.
John Turturro.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was thinking of not Mystic River. What's the one he's in? It's like the mob movie. Anyway,
back to 1986. So those of you who haven't seen this movie, and maybe you remember this, that movie was so full of hard, and I'm air quoting hard rockin' music.
there was like Starscream would fly in and they'd be like,
There was barely a time when there wasn't like rock and roll music in the
just
background of that movie.
there's so much action.
It was great. I mean, this was, I was 10 years old when I saw this in the theater.
Yeah.
And I remember my buddy got the
Warriors
soundtrack.
will all rest in peace.
Anyway.
Yeah, that'd be a great song for that movie.
Yeah. But it was, and this song, and this song came on in the movie. And this is another thing about this movie. It was a PG-rated animated movie for children.
Which is good because it's perfect because they're mechanical robots and can't bleed. So you can avoid the PG-13.
But within the first 10 minutes of the movie, 5 major characters that you grew up with are brutally murdered to this song. And it just gets worse. This was so violent. Mm-hmm. And these are characters that, I had some of those toys and I'm like, well, I guess I can't play with this guy anymore.
Yeah, right.
He got his head blown off.
Yeah.
Or it was, And I was at an age where I understood, and it didn't like. There were kids that were like crying in the theater. It didn't bother me. I was like acclimated to it, and also it was a cartoon. I knew it wasn't
too much metal.
Yeah, well, at that point, I was already listening to metal.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. You're the only desensitized one.
Yeah.
I just can't wait to go home and cut myself.
I'm gonna go home and smash them.
You're like in the theater with a trench coat on. Like it's either gonna be suicide or school shooting.
But
just twitching.
In fact, they had because at that time Transformers and G.I. Joe were the two big animated cartoon toy lines, everything, and they had made a G.I.
Starscream and Snake Eyes.
And Starscream dies brutally.
Yeah.
But
that's what he gets for trying to overthrow Megatron.
Megatron came back.
Starscream was always such a little bitch about that.
Yeah, they should.
I want to be in charge.
They should have toughened him up, but he got his.
I mean, he's a badass, but still, he's just like, I want to make decisions.
Even Optimus Prime dies.
Yeah.
After a
that was later in the movie, though.
Oh, that was early in the movie.
Was it?
Yeah.
I didn't think they killed him off that quick.
Yeah, that was the thing.
I mean, it's been a long time since I saw that movie.
I've probably seen that movie 100 times.
Really?
I have it on DVD, so.
No shit.
Yeah.
We should Patreon. We should watch it.
Yeah. But yeah, he dies in the first 30 minutes. Like they pretty much.
I think I remember that.
They pretty much wiped out the first year of the toy line.
Yeah.
In the beginning of the movie.
like in 1980s, all the producers and writers are in a room just coked to the gills. It's like, we got to kill fucking everybody.
Well, apparently.
We need to launch a new toy line.
What they said was any character that's not in production anymore, you can kill them. And that was.
And they took it and ran with it.
They did, but that
was
made
back
it,
before people thought about like reboots and you know, like, okay, we have this line of Optimus Prime, we'll reboot it, and now he'll be a blue semi truck or whatever. You know, that was before, like back when I feel like or let's just say most artistic areas still had integrity, which I feel like now very few do. Especially movie making and children's cartoons.
Right.
Like, there's no integrity.
And there's no, like, you wouldn't have been able to make that movie now.
No.
I mean,
oh, sure, yeah.
He hurt his feelings.
You can't even keep score in kids' games.
But when I was 10 years old.
Let me go on a tirade about participation trophies real quick. No, I'm
just going to take I'm just going to take a nap.
I'm going to take a Jaeger nap.
I'll see you tomorrow. But yeah, but it was like, you know, and most kids my age at that, we weren't like freaked out about it. We loved the movie. We wanted to watch it multiple times. Yeah, your favorite character got brutally killed by the bad guy. Well, I mean, where? You still had the toy at home.
Tough shit, kid. Grow up.
Yeah, I mean, so it didn't bother us.
It's like the Kevin Hart joke. You're going to learn today. You're going to learn today about sentimental values of things you like.
But anyway. Which, other than if I saw the movie with my grandma, I think she slept through the whole movie. Cause
she took a Jaeger nap.
She probably did. I mean, I would have slept through
a little flask in her purse.
But I still love that movie. I still love that soundtrack. Weird Al Yankovic was on that soundtrack.
What song?
Dare to Be Stupid.
No shit.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But I like how I got excited like that, like a kid in an 80s commercial.
Wow. But
that actually is legitimately exciting for me.
I'm excited. I might actually have to listen to that soundtrack when I go home.
We gotta watch that movie.
We do.
It's been so long.
It is, and it's with me now. It's probably 90% nostalgia.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, this movie is not Oscar bait by any means.
Yeah, I mean, that's what Target and Walmart base their entire profit margins off nowadays, is just selling us stuff from our childhood.
Yeah.
It's just nostalgia boners for the recent dads.
Mm-hmm. And the soundtrack is awesome. I mean, there are the songs now. Some of the instrumental stuff is Vince DiCola did it. He did a lot of like stuff for like the Rocky movies, and you know, and it's interesting. He used a lot of synthesizers.
He was like the composer.
Yeah. When like we were talking about a new modern thing back then, synthesizers were the modern thing.
Well, more coming into their own because they're like real advancements in them. Because like in the late '60s, you had, or like early '70s, you essentially had Moog on the East Coast and like Buchla on the West Coast, and then a couple others. But then, you know, Yamaha gets in the game, and companies like everybody started making synthesizers. And in the 80s, they really took off.
And he used a lot of those. And then the rest of it was, you know, hard rock bands that no one had ever heard of and never heard from since. And to me, that was like such a hard rocking soundtrack. I mean, I was 10.
Well, and it's back when they had fucking cool music and stuff.
I mean,
and like you could have like Megadeth was in like a Mighty Ducks cartoon at one point.
It was Darkwing Duck, not Darkwing Duck. It was
no. It was the Mighty Ducks. But they were not what you're thinking of. It was an animated series about the Mighty Ducks who were ducks.
Yeah. They played back in the day. That song back in the day.
Yeah.
Yes, I've seen that clip. I don't know.
Dave Mustaine like kills the the invaders with like his guitar and shit.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you're right. I didn't know. I knew there was a duck involved.
Yeah. There might be something we're not thinking because.
But I've just seen that one clip of them playing.
Yeah.
So.
I think it was in the Mighty Ducks. All right.
It was something.
It was a duck.
But it was a cartoon. Yeah,
Like you said,
I've seen that one.
duck.
It was a duck. It was Howard the Duck. Another movie we need to sit down and watch.
It's Donald the Duck.
Donald the Duck.
Donald the Duck.
Donald the
Duck.
Goose.
Donald.
But anyway, duck.
This is an energy-filled
goose.
episode. I like it.
Really is.
I'm
I'm glad we did those rails when we came in.
I am evil. I am evil chaotic today.
But listen to this, and I'll let you actually speak in a
I'm
minute.
sorry.
But listen to the song. I can still see that part of the movie
Yeah.
during this song, and it's such an evil sounding song.
Yeah.
It's like you
Yeah.
know. Then
this
it's
is
like
probably my favorite of the three, not just for nostalgia value, because I really can't remember the movie.
yeah. It's just such a
but-
brutal song. But I'm
It just sounds good, and it's kind of cool because I hear a lot of like metal influencing stuff in this song.
Yeah.
So influenced by metal and probably influencing some metal to come, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, because this is still early. And like, you know, I'm sure the song I think was recorded in like 85 and the movie came out in 86.
And this is the only thing that the band did.
I can't find anything about N.R.G.
Really?
Unless maybe there was another band.
I wonder if it was a studio hired band.
It could have been.
Like the composer or the music supervisor can hire musicians to come in to play score. I mean, obviously they do it with orchestras all the time, but there's been some instances where they'll just like take session musicians to come in and record stuff
And just give them a name.
That could have been this. Because you need a soundtrack, so you need something to work. So, it's these guys that played on the Transformers album. We'll call them N.R.G. Like,
It sounds cool.
yeah, or we'll call this band Starscream because
Yeah.
we can, or whatever.
Little quick fact, a little piece of trivia. On that soundtrack, there's a song called "The Touch." You've got the touch. It was kind of like the theme to like the heroes in that movie. We'll listen to it and it'll make more
Don't
sense to
sound
you.
like much heroes to me. Meh.
Well, obviously this movie came out in 1986. In the movie Boogie,
Back when you could touch.
in the movie Boogie Nights, Mark Wahlberg's character records this song.
Dirk Diggler.
Yeah, Dirk Diggler records this song.
The Touch.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And the people the Stan Bush who wrote and recorded the song, he was like, I had no idea they used my song in this movie. Yeah. What a weird random song.
Yeah.
For who was it that did that movie?
Boogie Nights?
Yeah,
Mark Wahlberg.
no, the filmmaker. Anderson. No, wasn't Wes Anderson. Paul Anderson. Paul Mooney. I don't know.
Wildly different people here.
Paul
Anderson?
Paul Anderson. Was it Paul Anderson that
I don't know. I think he did like the X-Men.
it was the same
Shit.
it was the same guy that did Magnolia and did those other
Wes Anderson.
Wes Anderson? Oh, I said that first and you looked at me like I'd lost Paul Thomas Anderson.
There's too many. So it was Paul Anderson.
Yeah. I was just saying it wrong.
Wes Anderson, I think, does the weird stuff.
He does like the Royal Tenenbaums,
Yeah.
The Aquatic Life with Steve
yeah.
Wasu, whatever it was called, stuff like that.
Fabulous Mr. Fox or Fantastic Mr. Fox. I don't
You know,
say it.
oddly enough, on our honeymoon, we watched Magnolia and the Royal Tenenbaums. We had like
I love the Royal Tenenbaums.
I love
That's
that
such a
movie.
good movie.
It's
when they
really good.
like, I love when this is the dad Gene Hackman.
Yeah.
They're like he and Ben Stiller's kids are getting in like BB gun fights. Like, what the fuck is this?
I like
like-
that kind of storytelling in a movie.
Well, and I like again, a great soundtrack
Yeah.
to a movie. Like they're running around New York City with me and Julio playing.
Yeah.
By the way, that's one of my favorite musicians, Paul Simon.
He had a lot of good stuff.
I love Paul Simon. Fuck Simon and Garfunkel. Though I saw this meme. Remember that album? And it's like Paul Simon and then the like silhouette of
Garfunkel?
behind him. I'm trying to think of his first name.
Art
Garfunkel behind him. It was like if you cover Paul Simon's face with your thumb, it looks like Art Garfunkel has a giant Cossack mustache, and it does. It's pretty cool.
But anyway, back on. You talk about the song if you liked it. Instruments of Destruction.
Yeah, it was nostalgic for me because like I said, it spawned a memory in me because I think sound and smell are two very underrated senses in terms of memory recovery. Like I'll smell a chemical every once in a while and I'm immediately back in middle school because that's what they used to clean the entire middle school with from us filthy animals. So, and then music's a big one for me. When I hear something, I'm like, I've heard this before, or something really similar. Like I recognize the chord progression or the melody. So it was cool to kind of, and this was, like I said, it was my favorite one. And I would say it was like the least 80s in a box out of the three.
Yeah.
Still very 80s sounding, but this could have been early 90s even.
Yeah.
Like it's got a lot of 80s tropes, but it's cool. It's the most enjoyable song for me.
Yeah.
And it's, like you said, it's kind of grittier.
It is
Like, on
gritty
the
for a
grittier side.
kid's movie.
Yeah.
This is a like
But
I can't
that's
stress
a cool
enough.
time.
Yeah,
you know?
that was a cool time. Like you kids now have no idea with your whatever you kids are doing now with your internets and your smartphones and your vanilla movies and sports and TV.
And your helmets you wear to bed.
Yeah.
Oh wait,
Stupid.
that's me.
Your child seats you have until you're literally driving.
35.
Yeah. I mean, my God, this was.
Can I get a car seat that I can lower? I can't reach the pedals.
But we had cartoon movies that were violent, and we didn't need counseling afterwards.
Well, and here's something to be said, and I really, really like a lot of the sentiments about nowadays where people are genuinely trying to make the world a nicer place. I think it comes from a good place, but I think it has some negative consequences that nobody likes to talk about. And I'm not saying that the way we grew up is the perfect way to grow up. I think some kids need something that kind of pushes them into adulthood before maybe they're ready for it, because that's your life. Is regardless of when it happens, you're going to lose your childhood. And I think people are trying to avoid that, and I get it. I want kids to have a childhood. My childhood was ruined when I was 11. And I don't want to go too far into it, but I had horrible incidents occur at school, and I lost my childhood, and I was never the same. And I think there's kids that need to have that happen to them.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I'm going to make it big as an artist one day, but if I do, a reason for that is because I lost my childhood early.
Yeah.
And so you have pain, you have suffering, and that's what art is. Like, nobody wants to listen to your songs about everything's great, I'm doing just fine. Here's all the reasons why.
Yeah, life happens.
I'm financially stable. I have a loving family, and it just doesn't work like that. And I feel like we're restricting these kids nowadays. We're really sheltering them from things that are just out there.
And that they're going to happen.
You're raising soft people.
Yeah.
And by the time they get to college, they're going to be uninteresting, which I think is the biggest crime of all. It's like, like you're saving them from a lot of horrible things, but they're not interesting.
Yeah.
And the thing that's weird to me is like all my favorite people and all my favorite artists have had horrible things happen to them.
Yeah, and that's
and they're interesting people.
Yeah.
I would not be doing a podcast with a kid that had a stable life until he got to college and then just had a full ride and a great time. And
right.
maybe a couple of risque nights at a frat house. It's like, you're not interesting, dude.
Yeah, that's boring.
You know what's going to happen is you're going to have to be like beaten to within an inch of your life on the street of New York for me to have any for any reason to talk to you.
Yeah, because you're just. And
by the way, a song is coming up here in a couple of weeks, probably 5 weeks, where a TikTok star's sister sings about how sometimes she doesn't want to be happy. And the whole music video is her singing about how she doesn't want to be happy as she walks around her Beverly Hills mansion.
Oh, well.
And it is one of the most tone-deaf songs I've ever heard. And it came out during the pandemic.
Of course.
When people are losing their livelihood. And you know what? The rich have never looked more delicious. So
and we're going
that's
to
a big tirade for a Transformers movie song, but
I know. I was like, we really went, and when
I'm doing 3 podcasts today. I don't give a fuck. I'm talking till my face falls off.
Let's do it. And you were talking about when I was about 11 is when I felt like something, and it's nothing I can talk about. It's something like, 2 days before my 11th birthday.
You felt up your priest.
No. 2 days before my 11th birthday, my grandfather passed away. Oh. It was the first time I'd ever experienced death like that. Mm-hmm. 2 days before I turned 11. Now, I know he didn't plan it that way. It was sudden.
He's like. Now.
No, it was he had a massive aneurysm. But
Those scare the shit out of me, by the way.
Yeah, but
just anytime, anywhere, for no reason.
But so here I am on my 11th birthday. Yesterday, I went to my grandfather's funeral and got to go to my.
That quick?
He died 2 days before. They made sure they did not want the funeral to be my birthday. So
they didn't wait till after.
It didn't matter.
I know you would have been sad either way, but that's how timing works.
That was a first dose of.
And this is why you're fucking interesting.
This is how life is.
Yeah. Imagine if nobody told you that your grandpa was dead.
Yeah.
It's and then you just find out
maybe a week after my birthday.
After you're like, "Where's grandpa?" And they're like, "Oh, he died. We just didn't tell you."
Yeah. No, it was.
We didn't want to ruin your. We don't want to ruin your
birthday.
childhood.
But I mean, it didn't ruin my childhood.
I want to see the picture of that cake. Yeah. So many tears.
It was a weird
Nobody
birthday.
wanted to eat it.
It was weird, but it was. I mean, you couldn't help it. He didn't plan it that way.
You got one cake that's like "Happy Birthday, Jonathan." The other one's like "Sorry about your granddad."
I mean, it was basically like we had. He died on the 13th. We had the funeral on the 14th, and the extended wake. Well, I don't know what it was called. We're not Catholic, but then extended visitation at my grandmother's house on my birthday.
You call it pagan worship, is what you call it.
Well, there was a goat. No, but so, we're still going through the process, and it's my birthday. It's my 11th birthday. Mm-hmm. What was really weird is they had already bought me my birthday present, so I got a birthday present from them.
What was it?
It was a jean jacket. I remember. I do. I remember it was a jean jacket. I love jean jackets. Then.
No, I know. It looked good on you. It's weird that you still have the same one. And it's weird. It's weirder that you have a Motley Crue patch on it still.
Well,
especially after every album after the third one.
But anyway, back on happier terms. But I mean, that was a dose of this is real
reality.
life,
yeah,
and there's nothing we can do about this.
Yeah,
and it didn't ruin my life. It just I understood.
Yeah,
these things happen, and it's like, well, it didn't just happen to me though.
Yeah.
Like, my grandmother had been married almost 50 years.
Yeah.
I'd only known him for almost 11 years. So, it affects
2 days short. 2 days short.
But it affects, my dad and my aunt lost their father, So it affected more people a lot closer than it affected me. So you have to step back and go, okay, this hurts me, but look at how it hurts
Sure.
other people. And that's also what life is.
Well, and look at it this way. So just take kids nowadays and you do your best to just keep them from the horrors of the world. It doesn't matter if it's something close to home that you don't, thank God they didn't get called retard in school one time or whatever. But here's the thing. Life comes at you. Mm-hmm. Based on this past year, I don't care how sheltered your kid was. This was fucked up. Mm-hmm. And because you didn't expose them to enough hardship, and obviously do it gradually or they're going to end up real fucked up. Mm-hmm. But life comes at you anyway. And there's no amount of sheltering you can do that protects them from something that can affect the whole world. So
and you could
it's
tell,
something to think about.
Yeah.
And I agree with the sentiment of anti-bullying campaigns. Yeah, that sucks when kids get bullied, but you know what it makes? Tough kids. And then people realize, it's an important lesson to realize, this bully has a harder life than I do, and he's a big fat pussy.
Yeah.
But you also you need sympathy for that child because something fucked up's happening at home.
Yeah.
But you also need to teach a kid how to beat the shit out of that kid.
Yeah.
And the circle of life. That's what fucking Lion King taught us, man.
Punch him in the face.
Now we can't kill off main characters before the first hour and a half mark.
I know. That's stupid.
Yeah.
You could kind of tell who was raised and learned, like we were just saying, during this pandemic, of the people who, like, I didn't freak out during the pandemic. I was like, okay, this is...
Well, you're always ready for death.
Yeah. Like, I saw so many people... Come on! I was like, I saw so many people that would post on, and are still posting on, like, social media about, you know, how freaked out they are and all this stuff. It's like, you got a vacation. The government's throwing money at you.
My two favorite people are the people that walk around outside with masks away from everybody, and the person driving alone in their car with a mask on.
I love that.
It's like, what do you think? Where are you getting your info from? Like the left-wing version of Alex Jones, like the virus can come through your HEPA filter.
It's coming through. It's going to get you.
If somebody sneezes 100 yards away from you and that wind's blowing just right,
It's going to kill you.
You got coronavirus.
All right, back to so thumbs up so we can move on. I'm really
I love this song.
I'm really trying to
go
like
listen to this
I was
song.
trying to stall before we get to this next one, but I guess it's too late.
It comes for you either way.
Set us up.
So I'll get to the reveal of how I found these songs together for the next song, but this song I wanted to do. So she has a couple of songs, and her name is, please remind me.
Gold. Alison Gold.
Alison Gold. Yeah. So she has a song on YouTube, as Rebecca Black did, but Rebecca Black's Friday is on Spotify. This girl's YouTube video the song was not on Spotify, called Chinese Food, and it's horrible and it's offensive and it's awesome, and I wasn't able to get it because it's not on Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
So I went with this song called ABCDEFG by Alison Gold.
Alison Gold. And
I don't know if this was the same. Is Chinese Food on there? I could only find two songs on.
Yes, Shush Up and then ABCDEFG.
Yeah, it was her team was probably like, yeah, we need to try to bury this Chinese food song because it starts with a Chinese guy talking. And then it's
never good.
Her dancing with like a guy in a panda mascot outfit at one. It's bad. It's real bad. It's just like she's like, I'm a suburban white girl and I like Chinese food. So the song instead is ABCDEFG, and I know you're OCD. I don't have a lot of OCD, but did it bother you that she never completed the alphabet in this song? Yeah.
Yeah, it did. There were a lot of things that bothered me.
Do go on. I'll put it over you right now.
This is terrible. This literally made
Wait, Friday or this?
Friday. This made Friday sound like something.
Wait, so Friday, ABCDEFG, Pump It Up, Kim Kardashian, or what was it? Turn It Up, Turn It Up.
Oh God. It's equal with Kardashian.
Okay.
I mean, it literally made Friday sound like something David Gilmour would have written and recorded in his heyday. This is how bad this song had. I don't know what this song is about. And I know, like, at least Friday, you knew what it was about.
And Chinese Food, you know what it was about.
Yeah, this song, I don't know what it's about, except that she knows half the alphabet. That's all it And at one point, she sings the scales, do, re, mi, fa, so, or she only sings some of them.
Yeah, she didn't get all the way through.
She didn't get all the way through those either.
She gets to the perfect fifth, and she's like, that's enough.
I'm done. And then whoever was the guest star that sang on the end of the song.
A stands for, the rapper.
Yeah, and he was talking about growing your fro, and he called her Miss Daisy.
Yeah, he's like
this is kind of racist.
It's like,
why is this
I like
here?
how I like to think that the guy was like, yeah, don't put my name on this. I don't want it.
Yeah. I was like, what? We shifted gears in a weird way.
This feeling is like ABCDEFG HIJKLMN OP.
OP. I'm going to sing.
Got me thinking I will be on a one-way spree. Ooh, ooh, if you just see.
Now I'm going
That's the chorus, and they sing it a lot.
I'm going to read the racist part here. because I don't understand.
Let's try to do it at the same time.
All right, let me pull up my lyrics and not okay, because this made no sense.
You count it off.
Let me find it. Okay, all right, ready? 1, 2, 3.
No, you got to do 4. Do you not know how music works?
Yeah, in my band we go to 3. You know I don't know. 1.
You can't play in 3/4 time. Get the fuck out of here. What are you, hosier?
1, 2, 3, 4.
And you're gonna take it slow. This is the way you grow your fro.
Grow your fro. Can't say no. Cause you think you're a pro. Whoa, she's gonna tell you no. This show is getting crazy.
Hang on, real quick. This show is getting crazy.
Yeah.
I think she'll call you maybe, but you might just be shady. Can't mess with little Miss Daisy.
Is that a Driving Miss Daisy reference?
Yeah.
And this part was done by obviously a.
Well, by the way, it was Mrs. Daisy. So.
Oh, Mrs. Daisy.
So can't have an interracial relationship in 2012, apparently. When did you come out?
Yeah, when did this come out? And
when did you come out, girl?
2 people wrote.
I gotta find that picture. I'm just gonna send it to you.
2 people wrote this song, and it wasn't Alison Gold. That means 2 people that do this for a living wrote this song. Jason Scardamalalia.
Put this picture up here.
Okay. And Patrice Wilson. You 2 need to be ashamed of yourselves.
I hope you have lots of caramel babies.
I'm just gonna play a part of it.
I'm not even worried about getting copyright stricken. This song makes me want to fuck.
This song sponsored by Autotune.
This song sponsored by Sesame Street and the purple crayon.
But I hate this song. It was garbage.
It's so bad.
It is
it's
terrible.
So bad. I think the only thing that beats it is you got it. The 3rd song this week.
Well, at least the 3rd song when we get to it. It has a good story.
No.
It has an interesting story.
Okay, but that's a backstory. It's separate from the art. Just because it has an interesting Alison Gold could have a really interesting backstory. This song is fucking garbage. And then
You're not lying.
But the instrumentation is okay. Everything's in time and she's in key. I don't care if it's because of software.
You are absolutely correct. So
would you recommend Alison Gold's
2 thumbs down?
She should have called this song "What I Read in My Alphabet Soup." It just happened to be in order.
She should have called this song "Mommy and Daddy Did a Lot of LSD." And
Mommy and Daddy should have wrapped it up.
And why are you letting this guy call you Mrs. Daisy? That was weird.
It was so
racist.
I mean, even for 10 years ago, pretty bad.
For 30 years ago, that was racist.
Pretty bad.
I'm going to do this part where somebody talks about growing their fro and they call me Mrs. Daisy. So let's get some black guy to sing it.
Yeah. Hang on. I don't feel like taking a pause. So I'm going to go pee real quick. And you just try to insult Alison Gold as much as you can.
Sorry, I had a little scratchy.
3, 2, 1, 4. Go.
What am I doing?
Just insulting.
She's terrible. Alison Gold is terrible. Her parents should be ashamed. Yeah, I don't have anything.
The next song by Alison Golden Chains. Alison and Gold Chains.
Oh, Alison and Gold Chains. All right, so we're moving to the last song that I gave you.
Cough it out. Just get it.
I'm done. I'm getting my summer.
I'm gonna
cold.
do some sweet raps while you just cough it out real quick.
I don't have anything to cough out.
Driving Miss Daisy. Yeah, we really going crazy. And this is super tone deaf with regards to interracial equality. And I'm gonna make her have my babies. And it's going to be like those kids in To Kill a Mockingbird. Not the main kids you're thinking of, the kids hanging outside the courthouse. Yeah, check the record. I'm going to bust a cap in your ass. Go ahead. Sorry.
That was better than anything Alison Gold has done.
Yeah.
So,
because I've read 2 books, To Kill a Mockingbird and the Far Side calendar.
We all had the Far Side calendar.
Yeah.
Last song I gave you, it was 1989, so it was the end of the 80s.
Thank God, because they needed to go away.
Extreme, Play With Me from, I like the song.
I like that sentence.
Excuse me.
Extreme Play With Me.
It's from the soundtrack, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It was also released on
I thought it
Extreme's
sounded familiar.
first album also. So, but I like Extreme a lot. Unfortunately, when their first album came out, they were kind of marketed as a hair metal band, which they're really not.
Yeah, they're a little grittier than that.
Yeah, their second album, Pornograffiti,
They're like, no, we're not hair metal.
No, it's a concept album. It's actually really good. Their guitar player Nuno Betancourt is a really good guitar player, amazing guy. I always felt like Extreme was more akin to like Van Halen, that kind of, which oddly enough, the lead singer of Extreme was Van Halen's lead singer for one album, Gary Cherone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Hit me with some facts.
hard facts. But yeah, Play With Me.
I was like, David Lee Roth? What the fuck?
After when Sammy Hagar left, and they made that one album, Van Halen
And then
3.
fucking came back. Jesus.
Yeah, well, they all came back.
Yeah, that fucking, I watched this whole
Except
video.
Eddie. Eddie's not coming
This
back.
whole video that was like just the members of Van Halen hating on each other. There's like this thing. It was like everybody in Van Halen hates everybody in Van Halen.
Roth said they always
They're
hated
worse
each
than
other.
like Deep Purple.
Yeah.
Like every single member hated every single member.
And Deep Purple, if they go on long enough, everyone who's ever played an instrument will have been in Deep Purple.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and like
This is Deep Purple Mark 6 version 3.
those British bands, especially British prog rock bands, were super incestuous. Like all the same members in all the different bands. So,
But anyway.
that was a thing in England.
So Play With Me, it has the lyrics are silly, but I think they wrote the lyrics just because they wanted something to put around Nuno's soloing at the end.
Sure. And I would say this song was a contender for number one for sure because I really like the instrumentation. I don't like the repetitious games being named off. Like I don't like stuff like that really. I don't like when there's like a metaphor and then it's just like let's just name as many games as we can think of. Pickup sticks and blackjack. And the only song that I've listened to that I like that kind of does that is REM's
I knew you were
Man on the
going there.
Moon. That's the
Oh, Man on the Moon. I thought you were going to say It's the End of the World as we know it.
I love that song. That's such a good song.
Okay. But anyway,
I
think I don't like that song because I've heard it a million times.
Well, yeah. I mean,
And-
was that one that got beaten to death on the radio?
yeah, and everybody mumbles through it until they hear Leonard Bernstein.
I was actually, when I was still in a band before my bandmates kicked me out for sucking at guitar. We had that joke earlier.
Yeah.
I was gonna do a version of "It's the End of the World as We Know It," and at that part, I was gonna say Jeffrey Epstein.
Nice.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. I think
The other night I dreamt of nice and drifted by.
Jeffrey Epstein.
I was like, wait, I gotta change the rhyming word to something that rhymes with Steen instead of Stein.
Oh yeah,
Or I could have done Jeffrey Epstein,
Epstein.
but then everybody would be like, the banker? No, the guy who fucks kids.
The guy who didn't kill himself. But I think
Talking about becoming an adult too early.
yeah. But yeah, I think the lyrics were a major afterthought just to put something in for the instrumentation. This song plays during the and I don't know how familiar you are with Excellent Adventure, but when they bring all the historical figures to the mall
Yeah.
and they start running around doing chaotic stuff,
It's
that's
like
when the song
the
plays.
montage
Yeah.
cut, yeah.
That's this song, but they cut out a lot of the lyrics and just kept the instrumentation in the movie.
Unfortunately, the only exposure I had to this movie when I would go over to people's house to buy weed and they were watching it.
I love this movie.
So I would watch it for a little bit and then leave.
I like the Bill and Ted now trilogy, but I like the Bill and Ted movies.
Oh yeah, they made a
One
recent
last year, yeah.
And Keanu Reeves didn't kill anybody in it.
No, he didn't.
which is
That you know of?
unfortunate.
Well, he killed enough people.
In John Wick
In
2
John
and 3.
Wick, yeah.
Such a high body count.
Yeah. I haven't seen 3 yet, so just zip
I haven't either. I heard it wasn't as good as 2. Patreon. We'll watch John Wick 3.
Yay. And Transformers and
The first music that we got to watch though for sure is Louder Than Noise. What is it? Louder Than Loud. Metallica's documentary.
Through the Never?
No. The recent one.
They have
Hey Siri. Damn it. Yeah, it's on Netflix. It's like called like Louder Than Noise or
Oh, I didn't know that.
Hanging with Boys. That's the one where
Hanging with Mr.
It's the one
Hetfield?
that got internet popular because it's Kirk Hammett trying to learn the rhythm guitar part and he just can't do it, and then Lars like ends up leaving. You've seen that video.
Some kind of monster?
Is that it?
That was one from 03.
Maybe it's that.
Okay.
That's a Metallica documentary on Netflix.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh yeah, they had an album come out recently.
Yeah.
What was that called again? Hardwired to Self-Destruct.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
I don't know why I thought the
Some kind of
documentary
monster was...
I don't know why I thought that was around. That.
No, it was when they were recording Saint Anger.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
It's
Hang on,
also...
let me make sure. I
make
got
sure.
it
That's
right.
also... one of the good clips from that is they brought, during their counseling, they brought Dave Mustaine in so that it was just Lars, and so that Lars and Dave could hash it out.
What an asshole! He did that to the band.
Who? No,
It was
Lars.
like Lars brought him into us.
Just for them to sit down, but it was just
Just
Lars.
the two of them.
It was just
Oh,
two.
okay,
Even
okay.
James Hetfield wasn't there, which
Okay.
Dave called him out on that. I'll give Dave props on that. But Dave came back, but he had stated on the Megadeth website that he did that. They called him in on it was Dave Mustaine's 40th birthday, and that's how he spent his 40th birthday.
Why did he do that?
Because he wanted to.
He just likes drama.
Yes, he does. So that was just.
Yeah, some kind of monster. Oh, and then there's Through the Never.
It's more of a concert film. It's really good too.
Oh, that's okay.
But yeah, we'll watch.
Yeah,
Some
all I
Kind of
remember, I've
Monster.
seen some clips of it, and like there's one where like Robert Trujillo's playing like flamenco style stuff, and James Hetfield's like kind of into it, and he's like, "Oh, that's really cool." And then Kirk Hammett walks in, and he's like, "I don't like it."
Well, no one cares about Kirk Hammett.
You really don't like him.
He doesn't have any talent. I'm sorry. I'm sure he's a nice guy.
He goes like,
Anyway, so we were going somewhere. Okay, yeah. Well, I want to kind of blow through. I want to blow through. Play with me so we can get to this last one because
yeah, it was good. I liked it.
it's a fun song.
Yeah, I don't like when songs do that.
Well, they
I know,
Extreme
I
got
know.
better. They got better.
No, I don't believe you. But anyway, yeah. Just, after that guy fucked off to go sing in Van Halen, they got better.
No, they broke up, and that's why.
And then he came back to Extreme.
Yeah, well, they broke up. Extreme broke up, so he was free to go do whatever he wanted to do.
And then they got back together.
Yeah, they got back together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then made lots of money, and they
Yeah.
retired happy, and everybody lived good.
Uh-huh.
It's the Mayan calendar. Don't shake it. Might cause an earthquake in San Bernardino.
Well, I thought you caused an earthquake in San Bernardino.
Nah.
All right, I'm going to pull up some info.
Okay.
You set up
So
this song.
Okay, so now I'll reveal how I came about this list. So I knew that I wanted to do Rebecca Black's Friday because I knew that was part of the pantheon of worst songs of all time.
Yeah.
So I started with that, and then I typed in some Google searches to try to find other songs that are in contention. And I happened upon a YouTube video. Shout out to Shred. Put his link here. He had a video with Rebecca Black's Friday on it. And then the other song I was looking for, Alison Gold's Chinese Food. So because he had those two, I was like, okay, I respect whatever this guy's going to pitch next. And those were the first two. And it's the how do you say their name?
Shaggs.
The Shaggs. The Shaggs' Philosophy of the World. And surprisingly, I think this is the worst song out of the three by a lot, for the reasons previously stated. This song is not in time. This song is not in key. this song is. You know what this song reminds me of? You're going to give the backstory. Can I guess the backstory to the song? Because I haven't looked it up.
I don't know.
I
Go
think
ahead.
this is what it sounds like. This sounds like 3 people wanted to start a band.
Mm-hmm.
One of them had a friend that, I mean, even back in the day, had potentially like a home recording setup or ends at a recording label. One of these people was like, oh, I have a band. They were yet to have more than like a first practice. This person informed the other bandmates, hey, we've got a recording session, so we're like, go learn your instruments and we'll make a song in the studio. Mm-hmm. They never practiced together. Each of them figured out how to do one thing on an instrument, and whoever's singing, like, practice with their guitar singing this, and then everybody else just tried to fill in around it with things that they had practiced once. Mm-hmm. How close am I?
You are very close.
I swear I did not look up anything about this band. When
you pitched the song to me, I didn't realize what it was until I listened to it, and I'd watched, and I think I'm correct. There's a guy who does a really good YouTube channel. His name is called Todd in the Shadows, and I'll do a shout out to Todd in the Shadows, and I believe this is one of the albums that he kind of did a little video on. He does like
kind of like deep divey stuff.
Yeah, it's called Train Records.
Ooh,
it's all his little show. Yeah. Where he deep dives into an album that didn't go so well.
I like it.
And the Shaggs recorded an entire album called The Philosophy of the World or whatever. Yeah.
Oh, so this was the title track.
This was the title track.
That's not good.
They released one of the songs, and I remember this, they released a single called My Pal Foot Foot. That's a song.
I've never wanted to beat up women so bad.
They're all siblings. They're all sisters.
Yeah. Well, I'll you know what? I'll make it fair. I'll fight all 3 at the same time. Well, they're old ladies now.
Yeah. This band came about because their father, his mother had a vision.
How close to Manson are we getting here?
Getting pretty close.
Okay. Let me guess. California.
That her son would marry a redheaded woman, and his children would be famous or something along that. I'm really kind of paraphrasing because it's really ridiculous. So when his daughters were of a certain age, he pulled them out of school, and he created a rock and roll band out of them.
Like the Carpenters or the...
Yeah, but those people knew how to play their instruments.
Right.
These women can't play.
No.
He still thought, because of his mother's vision, that they were going to be famous because his mother had a vision.
You know what's kind of fucked? So they kind of are.
Yeah. Well, Kurt Cobain, who I don't like anyway, said that this album was one of his 5 favorite albums, which explains a lot.
Did he really?
He did. It's quoted on the internet.
Oh my God. Well, Wikipedia, that could be wrong.
Well, I heard that on the documentary too.
Oh, okay.
These guys, yeah. They're from New Hampshire.
The band?
Yeah, the Shaggs. It's Helen, Betty, and Dorothy Wiggins. They were managed by their father.
Like Ralph.
Or Wiggin.
The Simpsons.
Yeah, they were managed by their father, Austin Wiggin Jr.
Oh, Wiggin.
And they had another sister that would sometimes sing with them. They were formed in 1968. But yeah. It
was a good year.
Yeah. Well, that's when, Hendrix's second or third album
MLK got shot. And
Robert
Bobby Kennedy got shot.
Kennedy got shot.
And the trial of the Chicago 8.
Mm-hmm. And
7.
The album came out in 1969.
That was a better year.
Woodstock. And
Bob Dylan played at Woodstock, and he didn't.
But yeah, this was they released My Pal Foot Foot as a single. Philosophy of the World, which those lyrics are. The
fat people want what the skinny people got, and hey, that's this podcast. They got famous. They got brought up on this podcast.
Philosophy of the World.
It's so bad. It's so
That little
bad.
sports
Please
car.
listen to this song. It's so
Oh, I want everyone to listen to this whole album because I need
No, please don't. Please don't. Just listen. All right, first 30 seconds of the song, you'll get it.
Who are parents? My pal Foot, my companion.
Foot.
I'm so happy when you're near. Things I wonder.
Oh, God. It sounds like a Robbie six-string song.
Sweet thing. It's Halloween. Oh, I think the Misfits covered that. I'm joking. How do I feel? What should I do? We have a savior.
I feel like I got enough. I don't have to listen to the whole album.
No,
Is this the worst song off the album?
No, because I've heard some of the other songs.
Is it just the most popular out of? Is it because it's like the first song or something?
Maybe because it's the first song.
I can't imagine that. Like, why is one of the deep cuts not one of the worst favorite? So I guess because it's the title track. And
probably, yeah.
That's probably why they do that.
No, I mean, yeah, but you're right. No one in the band has
ever played an instrument.
No, and they definitely don't. They're not playing the same song.
No.
I mean, it's like it reminds me of when you remember when you were little, and like maybe like your friend had like a toy guitar and a toy drum set.
Oh yeah.
And
shout out to Rutledge Raley.
And you guys would get in there and just start banging away and singing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we did it. Yeah.
That's what it sounds. Yeah, we did it too.
I think we did better because
probably.
And this was the first day my friend Rutledge got a drum set the day of our first practice, but we kind of played in time. So, and I wasn't singing at the time, so it was probably okay. We were probably like 14.
Oh, I'm talking about when you were
15.
like 10, and someone had a toy box with toy instruments.
Yeah,
that's what this sounds like. It's horrible.
It's pretty bad.
The singing is horrible.
It's pretty.
No
bad.
one's in tune. No one's in time. No one's doing. I think they have a 5 count when they count off. I know how much that bothers you.
they don't come in on the count off.
I'm gonna give you guys a little
as
non-copyright written. Yeah,
is famous for Robbie six strings. That you don't understand. The two things that give me a bigger headache is when somebody doesn't come in on their own count off, and they don't end on the resolving chord.
Yeah.
Unless there's an intentional reason for it because of like album transitions, or to not end on the resolving note gives me such a goddamn headache. Need a lighter. I'll just use my phone. Can't quite find the beat.
Okay, that's enough. I'm not getting this video pulled for playing that song.
Somebody shout out to the Shred because you were the inspiration behind this song being pitched.
Shout out to Todd in the Shadows for reviewing this
and giving us the backstory.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You don't have to put it here, but Rutledge Raley for the first drummer I played with.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot explain how bad this is.
Yeah. This is
it's
unlistenable.
At least the other songs on this list, as stupid as they were in time, in key, and the person had some familiarity with the art of singing.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Shaggs. I'm in my head. I'm trying to figure out what was the producer doing in the behind the boards. What was he drinking a lot? What producer listens to this and goes, "It's a good take."
Good job. You know what? So this song was probably like 2 or 3, and then every song after it, he was just like, first, he was like, no.
He was like, "Yeah, I gotta get out of here."
Good, yeah, sound great, perfect, one take. I mean, for real, I don't know how this gets made, and apparently this band was like, quote, polarizing. It's like, who liked it?
Yeah.
Besides Kurt Cobain.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he also liked Courtney Love. So
Courtney No Brain.
No, Kurt.
Well, eventually, no brain.
Kurt had no brain.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Well, that's what I said.
You said Courtney No Brain.
No, you said Courtney. I said Kurt No Brain.
Yeah, that's what I said.
No. You thought I said Courtney. I didn't. You said Courtney. Because you were talking about Courtney Love.
I know. I was just.
Courtney gives him no brain.
Courtney loves heroin, cocaine. I'm trying to run something.
Smooth. Yeah, good job. Special Fred.
Yeah, this was one of Kurt Cobain's top 5 favorite albums.
What? I don't get. I mean,
Well,
was he trying to be a troll?
Well, he was a troll,
Yeah.
but who cares about Kurt Cobain?
Listen to my live at reading festival.
I hate my fans. Nah. I don't want to be a millionaire. I want an ugly wife who's addicted to heroin. Oh, you got that one.
I'll never be as good as the Pixies. Shout out to the Pixies. I love the Pixies. That's the reason why Nirvana's Nirvana.
They are.
Apparently, when Nevermind was released, Kurt Cobain was living in his car when it hit number 1.
Oh. I just hate people
Another example, along with Jimi Hendrix, of somebody whose death benefited more than them being alive. Because I guarantee you, if Kurt Cobain kept making music, by like In Utero, those songs were getting shitty.
And what people don't realize is he broke up the band not long before he died.
Yeah.
He broke up the band. And I think Dave Grohl did a lot better in life with Kurt Cobain being dead.
Sure. Yeah. And it's sad. I see the people wearing those Nirvana shirts with the smiley face with the X's over the eyes. And it's like, that graphic didn't exist at the time of Nirvana being famous. Mm-hmm. It was like, that was an after market.
Oh, yeah. A lot
thing.
of that was.
Yeah.
But
it's cool. I hope people listen to Nirvana and are like, I'd rather listen to the Pixies, but
and I think Nirvana
I don't hate Nirvana. I just hate most of the music they recorded.
I just hate Kurt Cobain.
I like Bleach, and I like some stuff off Nevermind. Mm-hmm. But then after that, it's like it's real hit and miss. Like I don't like a lot of their big hits. I do not like Heart Shaped Box. I think that song's fucking garbage. I don't like that song Fucking Garbage. Because that's fucking garbage. Everybody
I think that was a Gore song.
Yeah,
anyway,
I know fucking garbage while dressed in garbage. Everybody likes Smells Like Teen Spirit. I like Breed. I think it's okay. Most people like Smells Like Teen Spirit.
They ripped off More Than a Feeling.
I know. Not really.
It's the same chord progression.
It's close, but then speaking of. Next week, 3 weeks from now, we're going to talk about
6 months.
We're going to talk about the spectrum of
that you're on.
Oh my! I have a place in society, Jonathan.
Here's your participation.
You know
trophy.
you did good when you laugh harder at your joke than I do.
I always laugh at my jokes.
Well, it's just because I didn't get it because I'm on this. So. Plagiarism and homage. We're going to talk about that spectrum because I have a couple of things in mind. One involves a new song that is a fucking bop, as the kids say. I listened to this song. I was on the white privilege. Point of personal privilege. I was on the golf course yesterday, and I listened to this song that I'll pitch in a couple weeks, 3 weeks, like 60 times. It's so fucking good. We're going to talk about plagiarism versus... Because More Than a Feeling doesn't sound like...
You're right.
The thing is a lot of these things, if you chart out musically, they're close, but they're not accurate. And a lot of times they're in different keys. A lot of times they're at different tempos. So it's like, what do you mean? There's like... Mm-hmm. Speaking of... Since we're done with the songs, let's get into the creamy filler. The creamy end filler.
Okay.
That was fun, by the way. I really enjoyed.
I
enjoyed this week. Thank you for pitching good music. The only reason why it was good is because my pitches were so bad this week. No,
but it was. I'm glad that you found the Shaggs because I felt like you
got some use out of it because you
wanted
their
to
story.
know. Yeah, because I had already watched that and
I was like, how did this get fucking made?
And I want to go back and find that episode and rewatch it again.
Provide more context.
If
you guys want, we'll put a link here. And in the description to that video.
And if it is, I think it's Todd in the Shadows. If it's someone else, I apologize. I'll correct myself, but I think it was.
We'll still plug Todd in the
If
Shadows.
not, go to Todd in the Shadows YouTube channel. It's absolutely amazing. But
cool.
Anyway, yeah, he's a cool guy. So,
what I was going to say is, so at Comedy Open Mic, and let me make that very clear, this week's comedy open mic. I went first. I've been going first most weeks that I've been doing it. I think it puts a lot of pressure on me, and I think it's a good move. And then a friend of mine, really good comic, she went on second. Mm-hmm. Third person to go up gets up there, and she's got her friend filming her from behind. She goes, "Hey guys, I know this is a comedy open mic, but," and then I just start looking at my phone. And she's like, "I want to read some poetry for you." And it was called Target Acquired, and she goes off and like.
Is that supposed to do that?
I was.
Sorry.
Oh, thank God.
Okay. Sorry.
We're good.
Anyway.
So, no. I'm glad you checked. So she starts reading this poem. I'm looking at my phone. I was mad that people clapped afterwards. I was like, don't do that, because it encourages these fucks.
You know what you should have done? Because it was comedy night. You should have laughed at the end of every one of her poems.
She only did one, thankfully.
You should have laughed.
I should have just been laughing in the middle of it. I can't be a total asshole like that. No shit. The fourth person to get up gets up there with a guitar and says, and it's not. I don't like the people that write comedy music, because I think it's cheating. All you're doing is you're replacing well-crafted jokes and with punchlines with risque words. Mm-hmm. As the rhyming words. That's all you're doing. Yeah. Is like, you're like, I was born a runt. God, my mom is such a cunt. Or you set it up so people think you're going to say cunt and you don't. It's like that fucking song that's like, she fell in a barrel of shaving cream instead of shit.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's another song that's like, he was playing with his marbles and dice and crystal, I'm fucking. Anyway, so those are the two avenues for comedy music. I can't think I'm on the spot. I don't like the song.
Yeah.
So he gets up there, and what he does is he's like, I think this song's kind of funny, so I want to share it with y'all. And all he does is he does that YouTube thing where you play the same 4 chords and just sing different songs, because all the songs use the same 4 chords.
Right.
I could not have been madder this week. I was like, thank God I don't have to follow it. I got real lucky with that, but Jesus Christ.
That just, yeah.
By the way, if you're out there, you're watching this, and you're thinking of doing that at a comedy open mic, fucking don't.
Don't.
Because already, I didn't do great this week. I'll be the first to say it. It was okay. Mm-hmm. But I really feel like that killed the vibe of the evening, because even some of the best comedians had a real hard time.
Well, yeah.
But the really good ones, they held their own. They did good, but the crowd was real odd that night. There was this couple up front that sat through the whole show and didn't laugh. But I've never seen a couple not enjoy a comedy show and stick around for the whole thing and then leave once it's done. It was real weird. And it wasn't like somebody they knew went last. It was real weird. It was a weird night. So anyway, I just wanted to share that.
Yeah, that's kind of stupid.
Because of songs that suck.
Yeah, because it does kill the vibe, and I'm sure it threw everyone else, performer's night off.
I don't go to music open mics and get on stage and read my fucking poetry.
No.
I don't even go to poetry open mics and read my fucking poetry.
Right.
Poetry should be read, not read. Hashtag. I hope I get quoted on that.
That's
in my
nice.
high school yearbook. And furthermore,
when do you graduate?
Tuesday. Got this great senior thesis about the philosophy of the world. And the fat people want what the skinny people got. It was a weird fucking week.
Wow.
A lot happened. Thankfully, we got to sit down today as friends and talk about some music.
Yeah. So.
My watch fetish is back, because my mom found all these watches, and I bought 2 real fancy watches I didn't wear today. Not that. Those are the old ones. I've got some new ones.
Oh, I can't tell the difference. I was going to bring my a couple of trinkets of my own.
Please do. Yeah.
I've got my nameplate that my dad had on his desk.
Yeah, you were telling me about that. Yeah.
And
throw that in the garbage. Bring something good. Bam.
So we ready to wrap it up?
Wrap it up and have sex with Rebecca Black. You got it.
Come back next week and do.
Join us next week.
Join us next week.
New show. I'm wearing the same socks.
Well, I'm always wearing the same socks.
Well, that's just because you're homeless.
Yes.
Quit charging your phone on people's porches. Yeah, you good?
Yeah.
Rock on, dude.
Rock
Love
on.
you, brother.